We're here to get bread, to espouse hot takes, and a third thing.
Hot correct takes.
Hot correct takes. You would be hard-pressed to find any one of our hot takes that is not just 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's true. We're always right.
Things like Demon Slayer, the first half is by the books and kind of boring. That's just accurate.
Boom, hot take.
It is. It's true. No one defends the first half. I have not seen a single person defend the first half.
Robbie Hachi is an underrated anime. Boom, hot take.
Also very true.
Thousands of people would be fighting against that if they knew what Robbie Hachi was.
Exactly. No one knows
Which means I'm right.
No one knows it. No one can argue it. Therefore, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Woo!
No, wait, that's how we end it.
Yeah, Machikado Mazuku is getting a season 2. That's pretty cool.
No shit.
Yeah, eventually. They announced it. It's just someday.
That's good shit. That's the best news we could have ever gotten. All the good shit's getting season 2s. We finally have a confirmed date for season 2 of Shield Hero.
Dude, I'm waiting for Maple's season 2.
Hell yeah. Has that been confirmed yet?
Yeah, they confirmed it at the end of season 1 that they were going to do a season 2.
Yeah, but have we gotten like a date or a time frame?
I don't know. But I really liked that show. That show made me start playing Final Fantasy XIV.
And you really like that.
I did. I play it all the time now because you know what I like about that show? It was just an MMO series where it's just people playing a game. There's no world-ending threats. It's not, we're stuck in the game. You die in the game. You die in real life. We got to win this game or the world's destroyed. They're just playing a game. It's like, hey, we get to just chill out this weekend. There's a big guild event coming up, so let's all just practice for that.
Yeah. It's a comfy, low stakes.
They murdered everybody in the PvP event and then hung out with them after at their guild house.
Yeah.
Because it's a game.
It's just a game. People are nicer to each other in that game than they are in real life games, and that makes me want to play that game.
Yeah, it seems chill. Actually, Final Fantasy has a really nice community.
That's good to hear, because a lot of the times, I say MMO communities, I mean WoW. A lot of times in WoW, people can get salty as fuck. Or just like troll.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, Final Fantasy, everyone's just like, everyone's nice, everyone's chill.
It's because the story's good.
Yeah. Also, people are always very helpful. It's like, hey, I don't know. I remember when I started healing, I wasn't very good at it, but then I got some advice, and then I got really good at it. And I'm like, hey, thanks. And they're like, yeah, no problem.
Turns out
it took us a little longer to do the dungeon just because we wiped a few times, but then people were like, hey, yeah, no problem, man.
If you did this, you'll do a better job. And then you started doing it.
And then we did a better job.
Turns out when you're supportive to your teammates and you give them helpful advice and hints, they just get better.
I think that's the only thing I wish about, because the PvP events in their game seemed really fun, but Final Fantasy XIV, the PvP is probably the weakest aspect of it.
That's fine.
It's primarily a PvE game.
I find that I'm usually the least interested in PvP events in games like that.
I feel like that's one of the things WoW had pretty good, just because, again, it was mainly a faction-based conflict. So, there'd be world events and stuff like, oh, hey, the Horde took over this town.
Yeah.
But regular PvP is just kind of like, you just queue in and you just do your battlegrounds, whatever.
Yeah, you do your battlegrounds and then it's over, and Someone probably called you some kind of slur or inappropriate name. Someone
Yeah.
told you suck.
And then you got destroyed by a guy who has no life and has just been doing this since 2004.
I kind of wish we could just like if the gaming community in general could just get together and all just go, "Hey, let's chill the fuck out." I'd be pretty stoked about that.
Just
I
imagine this. There's probably someone that has logged into WoW every single day that it's been up.
Yeah, there are people who are literally like the WoW guy from South Park. That person exists.
But it's just what blows my mind is it's not just you play games every day. It's that one specific game that has been out since 2004. Almost 20 years every day.
Yeah, it's 2021, so that game, if you're still rolling up on a game you've been playing every day or at least a couple times a week since it came out, what, 17 years ago? That's come on, man, it's time to move on.
Especially because there's been some real lows.
Yeah.
Like
There's
logging in every day during Warlords of Draenor, where it was just you log in, you do your garrison stuff, and log off.
That's the worst thing ever. And if you're that dedicated, I don't know what that says about you, to be honest. It says something, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah, but Beaufry, I don't like getting hurt, so I put all my skill points into defense. Really comfy show. Was really cool. Made me want to play an MMO. Started playing an MMO, have a blast. And you know what you can do in that? You can get a house. You can get like a guild house. Just like them. You can put a table in there. You can all sit around it. You can all like plan your events and stuff.
We even covered that show on the podcast. You can
Yeah.
listen to us talk about our opinions on it in real time.
We gave it anime of the season.
We did because it deserves it.
It was really fun. Every
It
single
was.
week I was like, hey, I don't care that Maple's broken. It's still fun.
You know
In
what?
fact,
Even the devs in that show didn't care that Maple was broken.
they did, but their way to balance it was just to put more bullshit into the game.
And
They're
then
like,
that just made her more busted.
because she would find all the dumb bullshit on
The
accident.
mystic legendary quests to give her mecha form.
And the paladin dude that would realistically in any other series be the huge pompous dick instead when she turns into the giant monster form. Everyone's like, oh, that's unfair. And he just says to him, oh, well, she probably got that fair and square through some event or something, so it's definitely not busted.
Don't worry, guys. The monster form is super not busted. She probably just got it, through hard work and dedication.
That just means we need to play more and work harder.
You like to see that in a series villain. Hey, guys, let's just work harder.
And it's great because I guess he's the main rival antagonist character, but they can still hang out after. It's like, hey, we did our PvP event. You want to go like run a dungeon together or something?
That's the kind of comfy you love to see.
But the other shows we're watching now that aren't that one. But don't worry, when season 2 comes, I'm picking it because I'm breaking the no sequel thing. Actually,
we
we picked
might as
sequels.
well.
Yeah, we picked season 2s before, so technically we've done that. But we've already watched season 1, so it's okay. It's not like we're just jumping into a sequel that isn't Higurashi.
We're doing a season 2 this season with Dr. Stone.
That is right. But we're starting with Otherside Picnic.
Not a sequel.
I feel really bad for Desk Girl. For the girl in the chair.
She has the worst fucking luck I've ever seen.
That poor kid.
She just wanted some yakiniku.
She just wanted some barbecue. She was super excited, and then, oh, we're actually going to there. Also, when she got into the elevator, they did not start hitting the buttons in that specific order. They could have let her out.
They could have. Instead, they just sat there and watched her pant in the elevator for a good 60 seconds, not saying a single thing
She
as
also
the
said
door closed.
she said one of the best things this episode too. She called Sorowo someone who doesn't care about other people, and I'm like, that's true.
There were a lot of moments in this episode that was like, hey, that calls back to the shit we were saying. Because there was that, which we've said on multiple occasions.
I'm glad the show acknowledges it.
Sorowo
Only
was
cares
like,
about Toriko.
yeah. And she even has a moment this episode where she's like, I want to go back and save the Marines. And I was like, yo, is Greg going to come back?
We're going to save those U.S. soldiers.
This time, the Japanese college students are going to save the U.S. military. I'm super down for that.
Yeah, I'm glad we're saving those guys because that feels bad to just leave them there. So I'm glad the show isn't all about just screwing everybody who isn't the lesbians.
It happened a lot at first, but then they were like, hey, that's kind of a shitty thing we did.
Even Toriko mentioned where Sororow's explaining, like, well, I went back to save her, and she's like, yeah, but that's the obvious thing to do.
Yeah. You can't just leave someone there.
Well, we just gonna be like, oh, fuck it. Let's go get barbecue. She's on her own.
Well, that sucks. Guess she's just going to have to find her own way out.
I feel like that would happen in our friend group. Like if one of us was like, hey, guys, I'm stuck on the other side. I'm in the weird spirit world. I'm on the 5th floor. Please come and get me. Sorry, man. We'll come after barbecue if you're still there.
Yeah, if you're still down after we get our barbecue, we'll come save you. But it's only because we're already in the building in the area.
Yeah,
but
if you were in another building, I don't think we would go. But you got this.
No.
I don't know, just press elevator buttons.
Just go back. Like, just turn around and go back. You'll be fine. I would want to go eventually. Maybe not immediately, but it would take a little time, and I'd be like, I feel kind of bad. It also depends on who's trapped there, too. Because, like, if you got stuck in an alternate dimension, I'd be like, well, fuck, who am I going to record the podcast with now?
That's true.
I got to go save Alex, or else I'm not going to have a co-host.
If Tyler or Devin got stuck, you'd probably be like, maybe.
Well, that sucks. But I got some stuff I got to do.
I got work in the morning, so they should have done this on a day where I didn't have work in the morning.
Why'd they do this on a fucking Wednesday? I get paid tomorrow. I can't just, like, take a Thursday off. That's weird. What am I even going to say? Hey, I need to take a Thursday because my
Have your problems on a Saturday night.
Or, you know what? I'll be generous. I'll say even a Friday night.
I'll have to cancel some plans, but whatever.
I'll be a little salty about it, but, like, the podcast should already be locked and loaded so I don't have to manually upload it.
We'll just record from the other side.
Nah, because that always fucks up the audio, and I don't want it to be like... I don't want it to make me say, like... Like
backwards.
I don't want to record the podcast and have the other side force me to say that I am super down with the Tepe Hojo redemption arc.
I'm going to say it anyway.
We will fucking get to that. We will goddamn get to that later.
Holy shit, I am ready for that. We will try not to skip everything else.
It's going to be difficult. But back to Otherside Picnic. Basically, it's Karate Girl is stuck in an alternate dimension because she's a moron. And they go to save her.
She is, in fact, a big moron.
This girl stumbles into so much Otherside bullshit. I almost feel bad.
That there is to the point where they mentioned at the beginning of the episode where Sorowo was kind of explaining how it'd be weird if the other side was so common and easy to get to. Yet it is in this show. Every other day something happens.
It is. Either it comes to them or they just wander into it. Like, they rarely have to find it.
I think the reason is because of Uruma Satsuki, who is our main villain, who has a connection to all these people, so I think it's happening more frequently to them because of her.
I would assume so.
Otherwise, then the world is dangerous.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous Japan.
Hey, just watch which door you stumble into, because going into the other side's like a 50-50 shot.
I don't want to have to risk stumbling into an alternate dimension just because I wanted to go to a cafe.
Hey, Ian, I found an apartment for you, but the issue is if you open your doorknob on at any time that ends with the time ends in a 5, you'll go to the other side. So you can't end it on a 5-minute mark.
And since I'm a foreigner, like it's the only one it's my only option. I
Yeah,
basically have to take it.
you're a foreigner, so this is the only thing that they're gonna rent you.
That's what Japan needs to just start doing. You know, rent out the cursed apartments to foreigners. Just have a registry.
Also, don't look in the mirror if you're holding a drink in your hand. I don't know why. The rules are weird. I don't make them.
Never brush your teeth after 11:30. That's the spirits
Basically,
don't like that.
if you didn't brush, you have to wait 30 minutes for it to be the next day.
Yeah, just don't tempt fate. Could be worse, man.
Why are
Your
Japanese
neighbor,
ghosts so weird?
I don't know. It's all related to the strangest, most
We have to
specific
fight.
things.
We have to fight them with our ghosts. Like you'll go in, do Bloody Mary in the mirror, so you can summon her to fight the Japanese ghosts.
I have to summon Bloody Mary just so I can brush my teeth at 11:30. Like, man, I couldn't get home. I don't want to wait like 40 minutes just to brush my teeth because they feel all gross because I've been out all day. I'm just gonna summon Bloody Mary to fight the Japanese ghost so I can brush my fucking teeth.
That's the next manga series we're gonna make. Some foreigner, some gaijin comes to Japan, and they have to summon Western ghosts and Western myths to take care of the yokai.
I kind of love that. I'm super down with this series. He ends up just living in the most cursed apartment, and even his landlord is like, yeah, this place is fucked. I get super weird requests all the time. I'll give you your first month's rent free if you can take care of the ghosts in 403. Sure.
You still have to pay the additional 4 months because, you got to pay your key fee and everything. This is still Japan after all.
Yeah, but the first month that you have to pay me, that one's free. So just give me like 5 months. In the
pay me
fifth
5 months all at once.
This I feel like I'm getting screwed over by this because I have to do 5 months and I have to fight another ghost. But thanks, I guess.
Couldn't you just give me an apartment without ghosts? No, and no one else will rent to you, so this is your only option.
The setup is very good. I feel like that's a pretty decent setup for it. I live here because I literally have to.
Yeah. You can make it really good too, because you can just be a gaijin and just do gaijin problems of living there.
Gaijin problems during the day, yokai problems during the night. It all works out. It practically writes itself.
It really does.
I forget what's next.
That's pretty much it this episode. They just kind of run around, they find her, they leave. And then, Uruma Satsuki, but then they go back and barbecue.
Yeah, then they go back and they do barbecue. And everything is fine. A lot of this show ends with, and then everything was fine.
Yeah. I am glad that we're going to save the Marines, though.
Me too. Hopefully that leads to something kind of bombastic. I want like a big set piece as we rescue the Marines.
Yeah, even though Greg's an asshole.
Greg's an asshole, but I bet Greg would change his tune.
Drake is cool, though.
Drake's cool as fuck.
We gotta save Drake.
Lieutenant Drake is the prettiest lieutenant, and he's awesome. We're not going back for Greg. We're going back for Drake, but Drake wants to bring Greg along, so that's why we save Greg.
And speaking of the U.S. military, X-Arm.
Oh, God.
The U.S. military apparently overrides Japan.
Yes. And not just Japan, but like the secret underworld Illuminati Japan.
Yeah, because I also like how the dude bent on revenge dies this episode, and he keeps flashing back to that one JPEG, and then bloom filter effect, fade away. He
Listen,
dies. Bloom filter effect dies.
they commissioned. I feel like that was a commissioned art piece from someone. They commissioned one art piece from someone, and that's all they got to work with. And they're gonna fucking use it.
I'm surprised they're still going with this.
Me too. Like it just won't die, and I don't understand.
They should have given up.
Why aren't they surrendering? What's going on?
It's too late. Give up.
You've already lost, X-Arm.
But yeah, so he decides to not be a dick anymore. He even explains to him, hey, Beta's the real bad guy that kind of caused all of this. But I'm mad.
Oh yeah, because Akira... I don't remember how that realization comes about.
The Marvel-looking dude is Soma. He controls it.
Yeah. Because Soma gets his shit rocked, and he, like, melts into the spawn suit.
Well, he just kind of gets transitioned into there. They just move his model inside it. But yes.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that was supposed to be something else, but they just didn't want to do that. So they just, we'll just move him into the model. And
there's not anything particularly awful. Like, everything's awful, but there's not anything particular I can think of in this episode, just because it was mostly just talking. Other than, obviously, the clear lack of facial expressions, with Minami explaining just how she got over her sadness and stuff, but with an absolutely deadpan expression, so it doesn't have any real feeling to it.
Oh my god. Dialogue is so fucking boring when everyone just has the most deadpan 1,000-yard stare. Yeah. I think that's why I couldn't remember.
I'll give credit to the actors trying to give it their all, but I almost wish I couldn't even see their faces. Like, I wish I was just watching a play from super far away. Because I'm like, I can just imagine what their face looks like, but no, I see it. I know what it looks like, and it's not good.
This is a series where dialogue scenes are best experienced with your eyes closed.
Except we need to read the subtitles, so we're kind of screwed.
Yeah. There's a scene because Ogre shows up.
If they dub this, I hope they have fun with this show.
Oh. If they dub this, they could make it Ghost Stories tier dubbing. And it would be...
Don't try. You don't have to.
Exactly. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Improv whatever. And just have fun.
Yeah. Don't make it too much like Ghost Stories, because I feel like Ghost Stories could not be done. Like, you couldn't air that today. There's a lot of stuff in there that hasn't aged well.
Yeah, there are so many, like, there are a lot of off-color jokes in Ghost Stories.
It's still fun, but take it for what you will for the time, that there are some things that should not probably be done again.
And there are, like, no one expected anyone to watch Ghost Stories. So yeah, it's like
they told the actors to just fuck around.
And they did, and what we got was amazing. And you know what? I'd be psyched if they did that for X-Arm. I would still feel bad.
All of my friends get saved by Jesus. Yeah, if they did that for X-Arm, that'd be great.
I'd be down with that.
I don't even think they're going to dub it. Actually, they should, because if they Ghost Stories it, I feel like people will actually pay to like watch it.
Oh yeah, you could sell Blu-ray copies of a Ghost Story style X-Arm dub.
Because then you could be like, dude, I own X-Arm. Wasn't that shit series absolute shit? Yeah, but the dub is amazing, and it's so bad that it's good. You just have the voice actors just comment on the fact that it's like super bad. Like, where'd he go? He just sort of transitioned off the scene.
Why is your model just phasing in and out of stuff?
It's like, Akira, I'm really upset right now. Really? Because your face doesn't kind of show it.
You're one to talk. What?
Wow.
Hey, Minami, how come you look like a fucking Muppet?
How come you look like a fucking Muppet?
It like that one thought occurs to me every episode I watch. I'm like, Minami, you look like a fucking CG modeled Muppet. And I hate it. It's the way her mouth is structured. She's got like
Alma's model is pretty bad too. Alma's model is just like her face specifically.
her lips from the side. She's got some Kermit lips going on. That bitch got Kermit lips.
That's why they censor it every time Alma and Minami kiss.
They should. They should censor a lot of things in this show just because they look bad.
They should just censor the show. Like anytime it's something that doesn't look good, they censor it. So the whole show maybe has about, like, from now to the point we started, there's maybe about 45 seconds of visuals.
I want them to, like, in the scene when Minami has that one really shitty filtered scratch on her head when they're inside the computer simulation, I want them to just, like, censor out her whole face. And when they're like, what did Minami, what happened? My facial model looks bad. So they figured the best way to censor the gore was to just censor the whole thing.
You can have some fun with this.
Yes. I like it. I like the fourth wall breaking VO commentary. And you could do some shit with that.
You could. I want the making of X-Arm to be made.
Yeah, I want to know as well.
I want to get the Blu-ray commentary where it has all the people involved in the creator process talking over it. However, for their own safety and their own dignity, I think they should have it where their voice is censored. So we were at the scene deciding that we should learn how to animate, but we didn't have the time, so we just sort of threw it together.
I love the idea of a making of documentary for something that is so bad and so technically flawed that they censor everybody. Like
it's witness protection.
Yeah, for the safety of all the people involved in X-Arm, we've chosen to hide the identities of all those involved. So it's a documentary, but you literally don't see anybody's face.
I was the animation director at the time. This was my first time doing animation. I originally got the job because I was doodling on a napkin in a restaurant, and they saw me and offered me the job.
They paid me $20 to do this. I figured I would give it my best shot, but not really try that hard.
I only had about enough time to do it on my lunch break.
I have another job.
That'd be so good.
This is a show that was made on everyone else's lunch breaks in a week.
The lunch break anime. Not to watch on your lunch break, to make on your lunch break.
Just make an anime in your lunch break. Hey, can you animate an entire show in, what is that, 3.5 hours?
Imagine this was something they did as just a side project to see what would happen if they made anime on their lunch break, and someone accidentally took it and brought it to the studio thinking that that was like a finished product that should have went out. And they're like, no, wait, where's the lunch break anime? We were just screwing around with that.
Did you take the one we were messing around with instead of the one we actually made? What are you doing, dude?
I was just taking the one on the table.
No, you were supposed to take the one from the office's desk. The big boss's desk.
Well, we already aired the first episode. Well, what now? Shit, now we just gotta roll with it.
I guess we just gotta finish that one. It'd look weird if we just made it good from episode 2 on.
We'll keep the other one on the desk. We'll come back in like 3 years and say we're giving it another go.
It's the perfect plan. What do we do with the old one? I don't know. Maybe we can ghost story the dub or something.
Uh,
This show is such a failure, but it's such a delightful failure.
yeah, it really is. Also, um, I just still keep thinking about it. uh, just like any still image you look at of the show, like it doesn't even look. It's obviously not look good looking in motion, but even still, even looking at it when it's still not moving is bad.
I saw on the Crunchyroll Twitter, they shared a GIF from, I think it was the most recent episode, and I really wanted to be like, guys, Doctor Stone season 2 is airing, and you opted to share a random GIF of X-Arm. What are you even doing?
I'm just gonna you know the scene where they shoot the guy in this episode.
Oh, the one where Minami shoots him in the chest?
Yeah, she goes through the hologram. I just found like online right now. I'm sending you on like a Discord thing. This is what it looked like in the manga.
Oh shit.
It actually looks cool. It's before they just kind of show her pop through and they only show the gun and then the next scene they cut and he's on the ground.
That looks a lot cooler.
Also, there's facial expressions on both her and the hologram.
Instead of just blank. Oh my god.
Look how expressive that is.
Adding character expressions, and Minami looks like she's actually been in a fight too. She's battle damaged.
Yeah, because they've been fighting all night technically. Yeah, and the only thing we have is they see Kondo and they're like, "Hey, you're hurt," and he's just got a little speck on his arm. That's it.
I think even Aljard has like battle damage on his armor a little bit. It's so like it is very clear just how good the little details are, because if you without those details like we get in the actual show, everything looks like shit and has no impact. But you put some battle damage on them, you have people emote, and suddenly you've got a scene that looks pretty cool. Because basically what happens is they use the hologram as like a decoy because Aljard lunges for it and he's like, what? It's just a decoy. And then Minami pops through and shoots him in the chest and then he falls down. That's a cool tactic. And it could work effectively when you have, things on it instead of just models lazily shifting through each other.
Or any part they're running and it's just the explosions going on in the background. They're just After Effects explosions happening. In fact, it doesn't even show anything being shot. There's just explosions.
Yes. The building is blowing up because reasons.
Or no, the part where they're running away as Beta's shooting everybody in with the Amaterasu thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it looks like the explosions are on them, but it doesn't matter. Because, like, those are close explosions. And
yeah,
I get...
There's no real effect to it either. It's not like, oh, wow, we have to, duck or take cover, or the blast causes us to, like, their hair doesn't even flow. And I get that the models are shitty, and that's probably too much to ask, but it doesn't have any weight when you don't have any sort of effect like that happen.
No.
In fact, there's no lighting change on them. They're not brighter because of the explosion. The explosion just gets in the way of the camera. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
The show doesn't really have dynamic lighting. It's just the characters are lit one way, and that's how it is.
The show has 2 lighting settings, on and off. And then that's it. The light is either on or the light is off.
They're either very shadowy or they're overexposed.
I want to ask how you fuck something up that bad, but every week we see it again.
It's just so awkward looking. Because I feel bad because you look at the panels of like the manga, and it looks good. It actually even looks worth reading.
Yeah, I've
Because
been thinking about it.
I don't even hate the plot of this show or the characters. I'm like, every time I watch it, I go, if this was done better, I might be interested in this. Like, imagine if this had the production value of something else sci-fi we watched recently. Like, imagine if this had the production value of Akudama Drive.
Oh, this show would be so good if it had that
Yeah,
production level.
the characters are fine. I have no issues with any of them. It's just they look stupid.
It takes away from any and all impact of the plot. And it's just downright distracting when everything just looks like garbage.
It's 24/7 garbage.
It really is. Anyone who says that art style doesn't truly matter has clearly not watched X-Arm.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even care if it was CG, just as long as they emoted.
Even just a little bit.
Like, it gives new... Berserk 2016, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't know how bad it could get.
We thought that was the absolute depth. But we were wrong. We were so wrong.
But Dr. Stone, still good show. Doesn't have those problems.
Still very good.
So we beat Tsukasa by using nitroglycerin, and I didn't know it was that powerful.
I don't know if I would say it's that powerful, but it is definitely...
Just throw a paper airplane soaked in it at a tree and it'll blow up the tree.
It's definitely that volatile. Because, like, nitroglycerin is fucking dangerous. But yeah, we get dynamite paper airplanes of death.
And they get Tsukasa to surrender under the condition that make a truce where they'll fix his sister.
Yes, because basically Senku's plan, because even Tsukasa knows this, Senku's plan is make nitroglycerin, show everyone how dangerous it could be, and then get Tsukasa to a standstill. Because Tsukasa is like, you won't shoot me with that, because if you did, you would kill a lot of people in the crossfire. And Senku's like, you're right. That's why I want to negotiate.
And by doing that, they've essentially got him to agree that they'll try to resurrect his sister, since when you get when you sort of remove the stone, it has sort of a healing property to it, which is how Senku's broken neck was fixed.
Right.
So it could possibly fix whatever her brain damage is.
And they agree to a truce, basically. The only way is to beat Tsukasa is to not really beat Tsukasa, but to get him to stop attacking you for a little bit.
And I have a feeling he'll be fine now, but the real villain is probably going to be Hyoga, because he takes a look at the destruction from the nitroglycerin and basically does the whole Subarashi.
Yeah, he's super into it.
Also, his mouth is all freaky looking, so he's probably going to be the next big bad. He's going to be like, I don't want peace. I'm going to go do something bad.
And he's a good unifying villain because he doesn't give a shit about anybody, and he is going to be willing to take Senku's science and turn it into weapons of destruction.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's essentially going to be like, you know what? We should just make actual weapons. The dangerous kind. That'll be cool.
And Tsukasa will be like, this is a problem. I will work with you to stop this problem. And you helped my sister, and regardless of results, a new threat has arrived that will unify us.
I don't get why everyone's going to be a dick when this man is trying to bring back video games.
I don't know.
Like, you're all like, imagine this happened over here in the United States, and everyone's like, you know, we get a couple of people that are oh, we're gonna rule Empire of Might, the strong, and I just say to him, guys, I can bring back Call of Duty. You guys miss Call of Duty, don't you? You miss chilling around with some beers with the boys, playing some Call of Duty.
Hey, do you miss cracking a cold one with the boys? Because I can bring that back. Shit.
Yeah, they'd be down. Yeah, I can beat people with my fists, but I can't beat people on Rust.
You can't 1v1 on Rust.
Snipers
Quick scopes only.
I feel like we'd get enough people. That's all you would have to say.
Yeah. It's going to take a while to get back there, but we'll start.
Yeah, I feel like Yoga's going to betray people.
I think you've been saying it all along. I think at the end of the day, that's gonna be the thing.
He's got the crazy mouth.
Bad. He does. He has a crazy mouth and a super destruction boner.
He's just a dick.
He's just an asshole.
I get I'm a really strong spearman. Okay, well, I'm just gonna punch you in the face. What are you gonna do against that?
I know all your moves,
also,
so I know where your weakness is.
To be quite honest, a spear is kind of shitty.
A spear is like... Spears are only really effective if you have an entire line of spearmen.
Yeah, you need a group of spears. A single spearman, if he misses the thrust, he loses.
And if you're
all you have to do is just step in, and you can just grab it. Because you can't grab a sword, that's the issue with that. But a spear is 10% weapon, 90% stick. Just avoid that 10%, and then just grab one of the other 90%. You grab the stick, and boom. We're going to have tug of war now with it? Okay, well, I'm just going to punch you now, because I'm in your range.
I like how that kind of happens in this episode, where he, corners Kohaku because she grabs his spear, and then he just fucking lets it go, and he's like, well, give me my spare. Fine, you want to fight with that spear? You can have it. I've got another one.
She's got a fucking katana. She could just break the stick part.
I don't know why they haven't done that.
Because his spear is still wood. They didn't upgrade to metal.
It's not even like the weird bamboo handguard he has on it would be that protective, because you can cut through that pretty effectively with a katana.
Because I could understand it being, somewhat of a threat if he had a full metal spear, because, you can't break it.
Yeah, but he does.
And if anything, it's probably worse for your sword to be banging against it.
Exactly. But he doesn't. It's wood.
It's like, guys, he has a big stick. Please, there are so many of you. In fact, Magma has an axe. How is blocking an axe not going to shatter that thing?
I mean,
I know the Fire Emblem weapon triangle. Axes beat lances.
It should. He should be able to just, shatter it utterly with his axe. But he goes to fight Tsukasa instead.
We'll see what happens. I'm calling it. Next week he's going to stab Tsukasa probably. I'm going to take out the strongest potential threat. Because that's the only person that could beat him.
Yeah. Injure Tsukasa to the point where he can't fight by stabbing him right in the back.
And I'm going to run away with your science and make weapons of mass warfare. Toodaloo.
Yeah, I could see that. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, because he's a dick.
He's an asshole.
Now, someone who was an asshole, but is now the best guy ever, Tepe Bros. We won.
Was Tepe Bros an actual thing? I feel like that wasn't a thing until
Tepe
this
Bros
episode.
probably were not a thing. It was a meme. It was a long-going meme about good guy Tepe. Now it's come to life.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
Make your memes reality, just like Ryukishi.
What the fuck?
I was getting really down on this show, and then this happened, and now I'm like, I'm into it again. Only for the sheer absurdity about it. Teppei's gonna save us. Because for the longest time, there was a bunch of... We were memeing about how since Satoko was bad now, we were like, Teppei was right. Teppei was right to beat Satoko.
And now he is right.
But no, now he's trying to be a good guy. They explain this episode that the looping, the more you do it, it will eventually it'll rub off on the people closest to you, which is why Keiichi occasionally gets a few memories of it.
And that's been kind of happening with the people closest to Satoko, and no one is closer to Satoko than fucking Teppei. So yep. He's basically, every time Satoko loops, he's basically been like remembering the fact that he lives like a shitter and dies in a shitty way.
Yeah, he either dies because he doesn't take care of himself, or because, some loan sharks decide to beat him to death. He's like, my life isn't great.
It's so absurd, but since they've established that logic in the show, in this episode even, it's not even pre-established, but I don't hate it. I don't hate that turn.
I think it's just more funny to watch where I'm like, oh my god, good guy Teppei.
It is absurd and hilarious.
This brash, alcoholic, abusive uncle is now, I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to get my family back together.
I
feel bad because I know it's not going to end well. This is probably the timeline we saw where Keiichi tried to, go to Child Protective Services and stuff. Because Satoko had no signs of abuse that episode.
Oh, yeah.
So he was just being a good guy trying to get his life back together, and K1 misunderstood.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain Oishi, though.
It doesn't.
Also, if Satoko messes with Teppei's redemption arc, I'm going to be even more mad at her. Because I'm like, come on, you had the chance to have a happy family life, but then you ruined it.
I think she's gonna, because the happy family life is not her goal, and I think she doesn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, she doesn't care about, well, because we now established that she doesn't care. She doesn't even care about her brother anymore, which was like a main point of her character before.
Yeah, that's weird.
Satoshi he's coming back, bros, right?
No.
Right? He's gonna wake up out of that coma.
Unless he does.
Apparently there's supposed to be a season 2 of this. Like, the next episode, I think, is supposed to be the last episode, but I guess it leaked that the network has it scheduled for a whole nother season.
What the fuck? I hope that comes out fast.
Also, pretty interesting that this show tricked us into thinking anybody who wasn't a Hojo was relevant at all.
Yeah, who'd have fucking thunk it?
Even Rika's not even relevant anymore.
Yeah, she shows up, I think, once to say one passing line. It's bad. I don't know who I'm supposed to...
It's still not really good anymore. It's still, what are you doing, Ryukishi? But the fact that we're getting good guy Teppei is fun enough that I just want to see where it goes. You took so the absolute biggest asshole in the series and decided to give him a redemption. And I do like the scene where he tries to go for a handshake, and that kind of triggers her PTSD, and then he kind of realizes, yeah, that I'm sorry, that was a little much.
He's swapped so hard into the good guy camp.
I see him now, and I'm just like, we gotta protect Teppei's smile.
Now it's Teppei's smile that we need to protect.
This is like the softest he's ever been drawn to.
Yeah, he doesn't even look like an asshole anymore.
Just look at that. Look at good guy Teppei.
Look at that.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Yeah, I feel bad because I hope by the end of this, because we've shown that he can be good, we get the perfect Hanamizawa at the end where we're not stopping bros until Teppei is saved. We're gonna keep looping until the real perfect ending happens. That's the whole reason for this show, is because Teppei never got a good ending in the original. Ryukishi made this whole spin-off series because he's like, you know what? I didn't give Teppei a proper ending.
Maybe?
This is Teppei's story.
Turns out Higurashi was all just Teppei's story.
Wait, it's just Teppei?
Always has been.
I saw a really good one where it was that, but it was because, Satoko last, we saw them pulled the gun on Rika. Like, wait, it's all been rigged? And then Satoko there with the gun behind her, always has been.
That's it. That's the meme.
Remember Keiichi, Rena, Mion, and Shion?
Who?
Yeah, I know, but remember there used to be other characters in this that had some sort of relevancy?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
Also, I still really love Featherine. She's great.
Featherine is still amazing.
Or I guess her name now is
Yeah, Yua.
She's like, hey, what should my name be? You can name me. That's a good name.
No, that I wasn't guessing. Nah, you can just call me Yua. Oh.
There's still the theory that this is a prequel to Umineko or something, because Umineko has Birkenstall, who's essentially Witch Rika, and Lambda, who is basically like Witch Satoko.
Maybe?
But we'll see. Also, I really like how, again, Featherine doesn't force him to do anything evil. She just sort of explains how everything works, and Satoko's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it this way.
I'm gonna do this the bad way.
No one told her to do it.
I think that's the part that hurts the most. No one told her to be evil or made her be evil.
Yeah.
She is evil entirely of her own accord.
So this is how my friends suffered for 100 years. Yes, this is what they did. They had to sacrifice in order to obtain their happiness. So all I have to do is just make them suffer more. I am not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you not to do that. That is entirely your option.
My friend made these sacrifices to fix it the first time. So if I make them make more sacrifices, we'll get the future that I want. That's not what I said, but you're entitled to believe whatever you want.
I am essentially a face spirit, so I'm fine with either way.
I'm cool with everything.
I still also, before we finish up, you know the scene where they're at the game store and she's playing the card game and she keeps snapping her fingers?
Yeah.
She is essentially, just think about this. She's killing herself multiple times to win at a fucking card game, a matching game.
Yes, that is something that has occurred to me as well.
So just imagine, she just traumatized these kids. So you're a kid, you go to your local game store because they're having an event, and this girl gets the wrong pair in a matching game and just cuts her own throat.
Sorry, like, Satoko,
well, that's... So she snaps her fingers and then just...
And then just fucking...
You're just sitting at the table like, oh my god! Like the therapy they'll need after. And also, think about this. She's probably reset a couple of days before then, meaning she would have to have remembered exactly where every single one of those cards is, do it multiple times, just to... What a waste. Who cares? It's not worth it.
Yeah, imagine sitting doing a matching card game with your friend, and you're like, oh, sorry, dude, that's not where the ace of spades is. And then they just fucking, pull out a box cutter and open up their neck, or, sprint into the street, and it's like, what the you killed yourself over a card game. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! All over again.
Sure, it's the ace of spades, whatever. Just calm down. We'll
Just
give you
put the
point.
knife down.
Now,
I will.
watch this.
I need to do it perfectly in one try so I can win this card game.
Even though this has no bearing on the plan I'm trying to work my way towards.
No, it's just being a petty asshole.
What a dick.
What a dick. We're not dicks, though.
Not all the
Well,
time.
we are, but not in that way.
You want to see more of our hot takes, which are absolutely 100% correct?
I think we espoused some good hot takes this episode.
Yeah. If you want to see how the Tepe arc resolves with us, subscribe on YouTube. Or, if you like other podcast platforms, then find us on there. We're on pretty much all of them. Google Play, Deezer, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. There's so many. And you can follow us on social media to find out when we post. Facebook and Twitter at Protagonist Seat.
If you search if you just search Protagonist Seat in basically anything you want, we will probably come up and you can listen to us.
You won't find us on Pornhub yet.
We need to be verified to post on there. But once I can get verified, you better believe episodes are going up.
Yep, you can pair it with your favorite activity.
Cranking it. Our amazing OP was made, as always, by Popskyy. His stuff is going to be in the description below.
And we'll see you guys at Protagonist Con. We had to cancel it because of the pandemic, but definitely, maybe next year, Protagonist Con. Protag
Con is coming. Don't worry. But
yeah, it's a big shame. I had big plans for it. It was supposed to be next weekend, but you know.
Yes. But that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for sticking around. We hope to see you again next week. And class dismissed.